I mentioned last time I was here on this page, look at that, I'm so sweaty. Um, that I am reading this book called Sacred Contracts. I read it. I'm starting over again because I need to get it in my brain. Or listen to it. Really, let's be honest. And one of the concepts from it, you know how everybody's like, "Oh, people are in your life for a reason." Here's the explanation of that. We have spiritual contracts, soul contracts with people that we make before we incarnate. And people are indeed in our life to teach us a lesson, to help us grow. For instance, let's take something like forgiveness, right? If you're supposed to learn how to forgive, someone's going to do something to you. Someone in the soul plane has to agree to do something to you to forgive, right? So, or like if, for instance, not that this is what I think is going on, but if you are here to, or partly here to explore the concept of self-love, you have to start out not loving yourself. So someone has to be in your life that makes you feel that way. And so that was the agreement I made with a couple of people in my youth. Well, but that were in as I grew up, right? Who I was around a lot, and it affected me to the point where it's like a like a vroom vroom automobile. It's like a station wagon. Anyway, and then later on in life, someone came into my life and loved me for who I was, who I am, and loved me in every state I was in. Loved me when I was overweight, like to the point where I disgusted myself. Loved me when I wasn't keeping myself up for him. Let's just say that. Just being completely natural, and he loved me, continued to love me so much, cherished me, was so tender to me. And the thing is, I need to learn to do that for myself. So I couldn't. He couldn't stay in my life if I'm going to learn that lesson, right? Because I would just rely on him for that. And I actually have been praying for a while now, but I want to be okay on my own. Because if you're not okay without someone or something, you will never be okay with that thing or someone. So this person came into my life, loved me for exactly who I am in all my states of being, all the parts that I hate about myself. He just loved me so much, and then had to go because I needed to learn to love myself. And now he's married to someone else, and that kills. Especially when I start going. I start doing the whole, well, he would have chosen me, not his mom. But I feel like I always have to, what's the word? Not justify, qualify. I have to qualify the fact that he left with, he didn't want to. He had to. Even though he's happy right now, which I'm very grateful that he's happy right now. That's what I want for him. But it hurts to see. Anyway, he had to move on. Whatever lesson, I gave to him, I hope he takes it. But he taught me a lot. I actually made a list of everything that he did for me before we broke up, but I gave it to him. He was really happy about that. He liked it. Anyway, right, I'm just gonna cross the road here. I'm gonna stop because I'm on the crosswalk. Get this car. So yeah, so the pain of him leaving is, you know what I mean? Like, that hurt a lot when the breakup happened. It hurt a lot when we stopped seeing each other. It hurt a lot when he left to go to New Jersey. It hurt a lot when I knew he was going to go get engaged. It hurt a lot when he got engaged, and it hurts like hell to see his wedding photos. um, I'm not looking again. I once was enough. Well, okay, maybe I looked like 3 times, but just to get it in my brain, you know what I mean? Like, just, it happened, it happened. Does he look happy? He looks really happy. Good, good. Ouch! Um, but I also think that this is happening to help me let go of a lot of other stuff, like bigger stuff. And this is the thing about this relationship, this amazing relationship. Like, he gave me so much during the relationship, and even in its ending, it is teaching me so much. It is helping me grow spiritually so much. It just aches, aches, aches that he's not here. It hurts. But the other day, I think I was I was crying, and, like, honestly, I was just letting it all out, screaming into a towel. And I don't think it was just him I was letting go. I think as I let go, it was like me as a child. Honestly, like, I was like screaming, I don't wanna, I don't wanna, I don't wanna. And that's pretty. It's a pretty young person. It's a pretty young person who would scream that. Um, so as I let go, I was just, these things are stored with pain, so they come out with pain, right? You're not going to avoid the pain. It's not like, oh, they're there, I'm just going to let it go. It's like, you got to feel this. You refused to let it pass through you, and you got to let it pass through you now, which means it's going to hurt. Um, so, yeah, going in the shade. The light to change. So, what was I saying? So, yeah, what was I saying? Oh, so yeah, it's stored with pain. It comes out with pain. And while I don't think I let it all go, I think some of it went. And the funny thing is, like, during that period, that few days, like, my mind all of a sudden would flash and, like, a picture, like a flashback of, like, a boyfriend that I had 20 years ago. You know, it was like, Rebecca? So that stuff, I think I'm letting go of that stuff too, you know what I mean? And the other thing is, like, so these contracts there's, like, different kind of archetype contracts. So she's also in the book talking about archetypes, and we all have, like, archetypes is a universal thing, right? All of humanity recognizes, if I say the victim, or I say uh, there's like a billion of them. Why isn't one coming to my mind? If I say the dilettante, or the orphan, or anything like that, you have an idea. You know what we're talking about, right? You already have in your head the archetype. So we all have 12 main archetypes, but these contracts are archetype contracts too. And I think I figured out part. I mean, I don't know that this is the whole part of it, but he definitely had a father archetype contract with me. He often told me that he felt like he was my daughter. I mean, in a sweet, loving, like, just like, because I'm a little childlike. I mean, I wouldn't say childish, but childlike. I can be childlike. And, we're both very silly and goofy. And he just, like, I mean, not to, like, go daddy issues on you, but, the whole self-love thing had to start with self-hatred, and there's a reason for that. Let's just put it that way. So, him coming into my life and having this father contract was a way for me to heal those wounds. Um, if I pay attention and learn my lesson and integrate it, which is what I'm working on right now. But it doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. It hurts. Like, well, first off, not just grief, but I'm feeling a lot of fear right now. There's a lot going on in my life, to be honest with you. There are many things going on in my life right now that are causing me to feel pressure. So I'm not quite sure. I can't really sort out which emotion goes with what, but I'm feeling a lot of fear. Grief, obviously. Uh, Sadness, kind of covered by grief. But yeah. So that's all taking place in my solar plexus and my heart. Um, Earlier, it didn't feel like a sharp knife. It felt like a dull knife. Not was being stabbed in, but was stuck in there and kind of moving around. Not like sharp pain moving around, but just like messing with shit. um, so those are the feelings I'm having, and I'm listening to this book again and trying to understand what she's saying and trying to realize that I agreed to this before I incarnated. This was an agreement between him and I, and I just hope when I complete the contract, that is, integrate the lesson and no longer feel animated by it, we can be in each other's lives. That would be really nice because I love him a lot, regardless of romantic love or not. Anyway, that's what I have to say about that. I am very grateful for this book, which means I'm also very grateful for my friend Robin Thomas, who gave me this book and is kind of being my guide right now. And who anybody out there who is interested in this sort of thing should go and check out because she's amazing and she's helping me get through this like crazy, like crazy. I would not be able to do this kind of work if she weren't guiding me. So, highly recommend Robin Thomas. Sometimes I have her on the Untethered Friday show. You can tune in for that. But anyway, I'm very grateful for her. So you can always find something, right? So I'll leave you with this thought, right? Remember, you can always choose because it's a choice. Sometimes it doesn't feel like it is. And sometimes you can't force yourself to be, but you can work on it. You can always choose to have a great full day.